Hey, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to share with you the 3 things that you must avoid if you want to be successful on your entrepreneurial journey and build that business that you've been dreaming of. So for the past 10 years I've been launching and scaling a variety of different companies, and we've done now over the course of the last few years in excess of $20 million in online sales. That's selling courses, coaching, services. So I've been around the block and I've picked up some learnings and some tips along the way that I think will help you. And that's what's inspired this video, because there are 3 things that I've identified that I have avoided. And by avoiding them, I have greatly increased my chances of success, and I've been able to move faster and achieve more. So without further ado, let's just get straight into them. The first thing is this: it's avoiding as many negative voices that are speaking into your life as possible. And there's a lot of people that talk about, cutting everyone out of your life that doesn't, agree with what you're doing or has any kind of negative input. Then you just cut them out. I've never been one for that approach, because there are certain people that I would choose not to just cut out, right? Like I might have some negative friends or some negative family members, but I'm not going to completely cut them out because they're family and they're friends. But there are a tier of friends where actually you can choose and choose to spend more time with them or less time with them. And I think you've got to protect very carefully the voices that are most dominantly speaking into your life. Because if the voices you're hearing is don't start the business, it's too risky, or just negative voices, people that don't have a positive outlook on life, they have a negative outlook on life, if that is the 80% you're getting, and there's 20% positivity trying to come through, the 80% is going to dwarf that, and it's going to bring your mindset down, it's going to bring your motivation down, it's going to bring your inspiration down, and you're going to find it harder to fight through that noise and fight with the battles in your own head to continue moving forward. So again, I don't suggest cutting everyone out of your life, but I do think you've got to be very, very careful with your environment and who's speaking into your situation. And the second thing is really to get you on the fast track in starting your business and not wasting any time. I would suggest that you stop chasing after and engaging in short-term pleasures that are stunting your long-term growth. I'll give you the most prominent example on my mind right now: living for the weekend, right? Like I know people that literally they are fighting their way through the week, Monday to Friday, so that they can just go out and get absolutely plastered at the weekend. They're up until 4 or 5 in the morning partying in the clubs, have no recollection of it the next day. They're spending all of their money on the drink and the stuff that they're doing at the weekend. That's causing them to live paycheck to paycheck. And there's usually a point where someone realizes, I feel like I'm kind of growing out of this now and I want to go pursue my career. But you just wasted a whole bunch of years. Now, again, and I've said this in other videos, I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong, right? Like going out, having a good time, if that's what you want to do with your time, no trouble, go do that. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, if you've got huge business and entrepreneurial aspirations, that is going to stunt your growth. That's going to stunt the journey that you could be on. And if you just decided, hey, I'm going to just sacrifice a few years of just going out and partying, and I'm going to put that into starting the business, you're going to be way ahead. By the time all of your friends realize that they finally want to focus on their career, you're already going to be many, many steps ahead with your own business. And the third thing to avoid kind of goes hand in hand with the second in one sense, which is avoid any unnecessary spending. When you are starting a business, cash is very valuable. Cash creates options, and you need options when you're starting a business. You don't want to be starting a business on a shoestring budget if you didn't need to do so. It's going to cause you going into decisions, with fear and with stress. And with anxiety, because you're putting all of your money into this one thing, and so it better work, because if it doesn't, you don't have a plan B. Whereas if you saved a little bit of cash, right? Contrary to a lot of advice online right now, don't save your money. Inflation's going up, and so money's doing nothing in the bank. Well, actually, it's still good to have some liquid cash, particularly in the beginning of your journey, so that creates options. And now, if you just had double the amount of money in the bank, now you're putting some money into a new opportunity, but you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket, so that if that doesn't work, you've still got a bit of cash to play with. And so having that extra cash to play with is helpful, but also it's more helpful for your mindset. because you're going into that particular deal with less fear, less stress, and less anxiety. So just do an audit of the things you spend money on right now, and if there's anywhere you can be saving some cash, it's unnecessary spending, I would suggest holding on to that money. So there's obviously a lot more that we could talk about. I go into a bunch of these topics right here on the channel, but that's it for today's video, and I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification, and give me a thumbs up on this video because it really helps the channel. That being said, if you want to continue watching some content from me, there's another great video popping up right here, and I'll see you in a future video.